think we can all agree that the 90s was an amazing time. Amazing music, full sugar drinks, full-size chocolate bars, and great TV. Now, watching 90s TV as an adult is absolutely wild. So I'm taking a trip down at memory lane with Bernard's watch, and if this show was aired today, there would be questions. So let's get into it. This is season 1, episode 1, Still Time. This image is AI generated, but the rest of them are actual screenshots from the show, and it was in 1997, so if you can't see them, I'm sorry. I done my best. So in the beginning, Bernard is late for everything. It doesn't matter where he's going, what he's doing, or who he's going with, he is late. Much like my ex, who was so late for everything that by the time he got to his niece's christening, they were taking the pictures at the end. So I understand how his parents feel. So they're totally pissed off. They're like, Bernard, we need a chat, get into the living room. They pull out a diary and they're like, you need to write down everything that you're doing. What are you doing today? And he says, I've got a birthday party at 4. And the mum's like, 4? It's almost 4 now, Bernard. Get ready. You would think that the parents would know you'd have a birthday party at 4, but I know how kids like to keep things a secret to the very last second. Back in the 90s, some people liked to wear clothes that were like 3 times too big, and Bernard was no different. He was wearing this supposed jacket that was clearly a coat. It was too big. His parents had obviously planned ahead for the next 3 years at school. So when he went to take his jacket off, he's like, fuck, I forgot to put trousers on. I need to go back home. Immediately I'm thinking to myself, what age is Bernard? So I asked ChatGPT and it says there's no official age in the show, but the actor was about 7 or 8, so you're thinking like maybe Bernard is 8, right? So I'm like, his parents allowed him to walk to a party on his own, unsupervised, didn't even check to see what he was wearing. That's a bit bizarre. So what makes it even worse is he actually gets home, and when he chaps the door, there's nobody home. So I'm like, right, okay, they left him to walk there on his own, unsupervised, and he's got no way to contact him. He doesn't even know where they are. This is fucking wild. So he gets the key off his neighbour, gets changed, heads back to the party. This boy's having no luck at all, because what happens? A van goes past and soaks him. He's totally fucked. Now, Bernard had originally bought the birthday girl a bracelet that was in a box, right, and it got soaked, and he put it in the bin, and I thought, surely it was just the box that was fucked, the bracelet would have been fine, but, you know, there's already so many questions. So he puts it in the bin, and he's like, oh my god, now I've got no time, I can't go and buy another present, I can't go home and get changed. This is the worst day ever. I wish I had more time. We've all been there. So all of a sudden, this rainbow comes down, right next to the bin. Just where you see rainbows all the time. So a random man shows up out the blue and he's like, are you Bernard signing for this package? Now Bernard's obviously never been taught not to speak to strangers, but he signs for the package anyway and takes it. And inside this very nice box, he finds a watch with a note that says, press the button. So when he presses the button, everything stops. Now, we're not even going to get into the science of this and how this would destroy the entire universe, because it's a kid's show and I'm willing to let some things go. On the other side of the card, it says press it again and it all starts, right? So he notices that the mailman hasn't stopped and he goes up and he says, what's the deal? Like, what's going on? Is this for me? And the guy's like, aye, like, did you have a fairy godmother or a lucky charm or a lucky coin or whatever? Bernard's like, nah, I've got no idea what's going on. Now, personally, I feel as if Bernard was maybe being too honest here. I'd have took that watch and I'd have been out of there, right? But the guy's like, oh, must have been a rainbow. And Bernard's like, aye, do you know what? There was a rainbow there a minute ago. Must have been that. So he stops time, goes home, gets changed, and he's realising like, oh, I can't get washed because the water's not running. So he knows that sometimes he does have to start time to get certain things to work. He realises, I'll need to get another present because I put that perfectly good bracelet in the bin. So he goes and picks one up. And you know what? Bernard might not be very good at timekeeping, but he's honest because he put the money in the till and took his change out. Good for him, because I'd have been out of there with that, and I'd been taking crisps and juice as well. Now, I loved most things about the 90s, the music, the food, pretty much everything, some of the fashion. But one thing that I was questioning in this was the teacher's hair. What was going on there? He gives the birthday girl a present and he's got like a space gun that makes different sounds and it lights up, and she's like, oh, this is the best present I've had, everybody else got me jewellery. Now, Bernard might not have had good timekeeping, but he was ahead of his time. He was like, I don't care if she's a girl, that doesn't mean to say that she has to have a doll or makeup or jewellery. I'm going to get her this and it's going to blow her fucking mind. And he was right. He's like, listen hen, happy birthday, I'm all about equality for all. He goes back home and he's supposed to be going somewhere with his dad, and his parents are like, Bernard, where are you? And I must say, right, his parents talk to him like a child, which is very surprising because even though he is a child, they still let him walk to a birthday party on his own. They've got a car, why didn't they drive him there? Why didn't they check to see what he was wearing? There was so many questions, right, but they actually talked to him like a child. And then Bernard was like, they think I'm going to be late? Not this time. And he gets in the car. He doesn't even say I'm in the car or I'm ready or anything, he just sits there and waits. And then they come out and they go, oh, he's waiting in the car, right? Oh, there's a first for everything. His dad gets into the car and says, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were here. And Bernard's like, oh, it's fine, we've got plenty of time. Now, for all the people who lived in the 90s, we know that it was crazy. My mum used to send me down to the van to buy individual cigarettes, and they gave them to me. Right, so there was a lot of questions back then, but let me know now in 2025, if you had an 8-year-old, would you allow them to walk to a party on their own and not even check to see what they're wearing? I'm not a parent, right, so I don't know. I'm just putting this question out to you. What was interesting to me is that I have always remembered 3 specific episodes of Bernard's Watch, and one of them was this episode because I always remember him going into the shop and paying for the present and thinking, why did they do that? Obviously they're trying to teach kids to be honest. Good for them and good for him. There's no reality TV on at the moment, so I'm going to be binge watching so many 90s and 2000s TV shows. Let me know in the comments what your favourites were, and I'll come back and cover them. And I'll see you next time. Bye!